Hey guys, welcome back. It's Luis with L.L.C Customs. Today I want to show you guys a new addition to our Elite system. This is going to be our AROA harness. It stands for Aftermarket Radio Output Accessory. And the way that this harness works is that for those of you guys that are doing aftermarket radios now in your vehicles, and you have a loopback system, or you want an easier way to integrate aftermarket equipment with your new aftermarket radio, you can do that. You can simply go over to your Elite base connector here, and what we're going to do from here is we're going to look for our signal. The signal is the signal that comes out of the factory radio, goes into the harness, is sent out through the loop, comes into the signal receptor of your amplifier, your DSP, where you're using your EQ, and then the amplifier will output that back through the harness, back through into the base connector, and then back out into the vehicle speaker locations, whether that is 12 speakers, 6 speakers, 4 speakers. It's all based on the configuration of harness that you get. So we're going to look for our signal side, because obviously what we're affecting is the signal side. We're replacing the input from the aftermarket, from the factory radio, and we're going to be substituting it with the signal from the aftermarket radio. So we're going to go to our Molex connectors here, and we're going to undo that, and then we're going to go ahead and just plug in our AROA accessory. And now what you have is you have an input that can go to the RCAs that come off the pigtail of your aftermarket radio, or you can cut these off and tie them into the output of the aftermarket radio through the Maestro RR harness or whatever integration harness you're using. That will output from your aftermarket radio into the harness, into your amplifier. You will then turn your amplifier to a low level, and then your amplifier process, EQ it, whatever you're going to do, back out into your factory speaker system. So that's the way you do that. For Ram vehicles, for Ram, Jeep, Dodge, you're going to have a secondary dongle that I don't have with me today because they're making them. It's going to be an aftermarket dongle with resistors, because the vehicle needs to see resistance as a check to see if the speakers are working. Most modern vehicles nowadays that require load resistance do it so that the system knows when there's a fault with the speaker, and thus doesn't output any audio. And so if you don't have the resistors hooked up here, you probably won't have audio on your out of your speakers, or your radio may go dark. So again, we're just simply taking the aftermarket radio input, we're putting it into the harness now. It's going in, it's going to our amplifier. Our amplifier is tuned. Output of the amplifier back into the harness, and then into the speakers there. So that's going to be our introduction for our AROA harness. This harness will come standard with every loop that you purchase for the year of 2025 moving forward. And it will also be available on the website on its own for those of you that already have an existing Elite harness. This is the benefit of buying from L.L.C Customs rather than buying a knockoff harness from PAC or Metra. We actually have a design system that grows for amplifiers and multitudes of kits, as to where they are simply just trying to stay up to date with the modernization of integration into car audio. So again, make sure you follow us on Facebook, make sure you like this video if you learned something, and stay tuned for a lot more informative videos coming to you guys on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you and have a good day.